Welcome to Wicked Wizards, and thank you for checking this out. When you download this product, you'll receive two different Google Forms. One is for 4th grade and the other one is for 5th grade. Let's start by taking a look at the 4th grade version. It's called Wicked Wizards 4. When you download it, you'll have a normal Google form that you can make some changes to. But let's take a look at what students see when you assign it to them. So students have a Google form where they tell you their name, and then they have a space where they can answer questions 1, 2, and 3, but they don't have the questions. So what they need to do is they need to go on to this website, and they need to follow all of the directions to find the questions and then solve them. In this activity, there are 8 word problems that have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division with and without decimals. The 5th grade version has decimals. So right here, you can see that by looking at the square in the top left-hand corner, you know that students are working on the 4th grade version, but the 5th grade version looks just the same with slightly different questions, and there's a pentagon in the top left-hand corner so that you can tell what students are working on, but students won't really notice if they're working on one version and their classmates are working on another. So let's go ahead and get started and follow the steps on the screen. So it starts with students receiving a letter from their teacher who has been kidnapped. And so they go into their classroom to click around. And what they need to do is they need to find the questions so that they can go back to the Google Forms and answer them. For example, on this page, students will find questions 1, 2, and 3. If they click on the book, which takes them to question 2, they'll have a word problem where they need to add multi-digit whole numbers. For example, they need to add 13,972 plus 48,269. And when they have their answer, when they go back to their Google form, they know that they were working on question number 2, and so they need to put in their answer. And when they add those up, they should get 62,241. So they go to question 2 and they type in 62,241. And if their answer is correct, they should not get a pop-up. But if they make a mistake, for example, if they leave out the comma, the answer will be marked incorrect. It'll also be marked incorrect if they type in the wrong number. So they need to type in the wrong number with the right comma as well. Taking a look at the question page, if students are stuck, then they can hunt around on the page for a hint. And there is a hint for every single question. So they can open up the hint for question 2 by clicking on the bookmark, and they'll get a little bit of help with what they need to do to set the problem up. Moving on to the 5th grade version, when students are working on the 5th grade version, they'll see something really, really similar. So they'll have a website that looks just like it, except this time, you'll notice that there is a pentagon in the top left-hand corner, but everything else looks the same. So they have the same storyline, almost the same problems, but for the 5th grade version, when they open it, they're now adding decimals up to the thousandths place. So when the 5th grade versions open this, when the students open up the 5th grade version, they'll add 3 and 72 thousandths plus 4 and 26 hundredths. And if they've done it properly, they should get 7 and 332 thousandths. So then what they need to do is they need to go back to their Google form and they need to type their answer in, 7 and 332 thousandths. And if it's correct, then it should let them move on. Once students have correctly answered questions 1, 2, and 3, they can move on to the next section where they have access to a new web page with new problems. As the owner of this Google form after you download it, there are some changes that you can make. You can change what it says for the questions. You can change the settings for how it accepts responses. One thing that you definitely should not do is change the link. This link needs to remain the same so that students have access to the website. If you have any questions about this product, please feel free to reach out on TPT, or you can also email me at christian@thinkoutsidethesheet.com. Thanks a lot.